catching us off guard. I mean, it is a bit early to tell for they're the attacking team, but Excel.
Defensively, this is exactly what you want. You do definitely want a Widowmaker on this map, especially first point at Junkertown. It's wide open. You're going to try to hit those grapple shots. Libero can play absolutely everything, so Junker, anything that he goes on is not going to be a surprise. Perhaps the Roadhog, but Roadhog Orisa has been such a staple combo today, so no big surprises out of NYXL. A lot of different styles on this map, and this is one of them.
Well, this is one way to approach it as well. Look at Boston Uprising. This is a beastly attack strategy that they've put together. The double sniper and the Bastion. I mean, that sends chills down your back. And I think Excel right now are going to be freaking out a little bit when they see this coming at them.
Yeah, it can be very good to crack those shields, especially with the Hanzo when he gets the Dragon up as well. This shield from Orisa is a very good one on the defense, but it's not going to last long against the power of Bastion.
Exactly right. So you have to focus on the Bastion, but then you have the two snipers that you have to deal with as well. You kind of get torn apart on the defense here. Split up, that's the whole point, because those shields are going to melt. But what a fantastic hook to start things off. At least they managed to put a little pressure there on Neko.
You need a little more follow-up on a Bastion, though. He's got that self-heal. He's such a beefy body that even when you get the hooks, the rest of your team has to help you out. Nico gets his revenge for that hook and takes down Meko. Arc will bring him back to life. And there is Striker. Sometimes a bow and arrow is better than a sniper rifle. I don't know what time, but apparently there.
It's just classier. You know, it's cool. Like, I actually worked really hard.
Yeah.
I have created this bow. That's Hanzo for you, man. He takes his time with it, but already, look at these kills coming through here for Boston. They have just gone unchallenged completely. Excel really struggling dealing with this offense so far. They're just getting picked off before they can even challenge the payload. That is a near flawless first point cap there for Boston Uprising.
They are taking it to him on Junkertown. They also even are getting close to a Dragon Strike coming in here. They've got tank mode coming up for Neko, and I just don't know if NYXL has what it takes to stop this. Now, a tire is on the docket here, so perhaps you can get that. That'll crush a static position.
I'm going to be curious to see how fast Arc can charge up that Valkyrie. Because he's at 80% now. I think this is going to be key for this next engagement. He needs to get that Val quick so that they have the longevity here. Try and hold out against all of this DPS, all of this damage that's on Boston.
They're staying on their composition because they want to try to crack these shields and make Neko vulnerable there. There also comes a tire in late to clean up anyone else. He's actually waiting, I think, to see if they're going to res that so he can kill it again. Does find a target in Gamsu.
Real clever stuff from Libero. That's what we expect to see. And at the choke, finally, New York Excelsior are able to put a stop, put a halt, take the wind out of the sails of that ship. And so now we're going to have the switch up here. Or Sabiobi, well, he's been on Widow for a little bit, but we're going to get to see that duel. Straight up mano-a-mano versus Dream Casper. Both of them are able to see through walls, but Sabiobi's holding on to his infrared for now.
Yeah, Casper is going to be able to get the better of it, but Sabiobi not really peeking out there to give him that target. Don't want to lose that Widow duel early, and now they have to jump away from a self-destruct. Misses his grapple. Cost him his life.
You can just feel the panic. He's like, oh my god, I gotta get out of here. Just couldn't do it. And that is two big kills coming through. The forces about Arc with the double res already, but that's just to get them up to even numbers. And now the real pressure comes in from Neko. He's got tank mode. He does tremendous amounts of damage with this, and we'll see. Maybe he gets the last pick. Not gonna need it. Striker's there to yoink it out of his hands.
And Striker's been a terror on this Hanzo.
That's right. Goodbye. Goodbye, defense. It's nice knowing you.
It was a good effort, I suppose. They have not been able to really dislodge them from the car. They got one kill on Neko early on, but that was it. They're not able to clean it up and even take positioning back. So right now, this is a blazing fast offense.
Now, this is a fantastic run so far set up from Boston Uprising. Papa Hulk is definitely happy about that. And well, Papa Hulk, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, he does, no, never mind. So, moving on, we are going to have, I mean, Excel just trying to find some space here. They have to find an engagement that they can actually take, but again, they haven't even needed to go for a roster switch here, Boston Uprising. They're just content to sit with the double sniper still.
They throw the Dragon out. That might signal that maybe Striker's going to switch off on his next life, because I think a Tracer in this situation is really good. There's a nice flank to the back line there. Sabiobi also gets the better of Dreamcasper there. Finally, he gets a couple of kills in a row. This looks like it's finally going to be the stabilizing fight that the NYXL needed.
That was the longest hook of Meko's life. I mean, that was like an infinite chain. Where did that come from?
Sometimes it's just, I'm still caught off guard by how long the range is on that. And I've been playing this game since day one closed beta. It's just astoundingly long.
This is one of the most frustrating things when you get hooked. You're just like, how? Ah, nice work. Sabiobi giving him the butt.
And they got the damage boost on the ground too. That always helps out. Nice headshot will take down the tank there. So switch-ups do come in for Boston Uprising now that they go to the last point. Dream Casper, aforementioned, blown up right there, is onto the Genji. They're going to complement that with a Tracer play in Striker.
Now it's time for the dive. Time to get in there, in their faces, and put the pressure on Sabiobi if you can. Catch him out. That would be good. Libero there with the Junkrat. He's already used the Riptire though. So he's going to have a long way to go to get to that ultimate.
One of the issues is, though, NYXL is running a pretty good anti-dive composition where they've got a Roadhog and a Junkrat back there. It can be very difficult to dive into that duo, and it's their home map, really.
Gamsu just got bopped there by Sabiobi, though. That headshot not turning away from it, and there we go. Sabiobi connects with Dream Casper. Kelix will be there for the res. Arc is just bringing Libero back up, and it's res left and right, but Sabiobi getting zapped. Somehow he survives. That is no good, because look at this. He just keeps farming shots.
Sabiobi's grapple hook is broken. That's the second time he missed an easy grapple out of there on it. Didn't have to pay for it that time, though, but that's something that you want to get looked at. Maybe just needs to sharpen it, bring in the angle grinder.
Well, that's where you got to give props, right, to the team who are helping him, like with the peel, right? They know he's in trouble. They know he's one of the key players here in this roster to make this formation work. Got to keep him alive.
Third point in Junkertown is so hard to break through. It just gets so claustrophobic. And yes, they're trying the dive, but I'm wondering who the dive target really is. You can't get back on Jonik because Libero and Miko are there to really help him out, and it's going to be tough. Meko, I'm sorry. There's a Meko and a Neko in this game, and that's going to be fun for us.
It's going to get a lot of fun. I hope to see them in the kill feed a little bit. Although that is a sexy hook right there, yanking him right out into the middle. Meko going to take a breath real quick. And right now, I mean, they're doing a very good job just stalling this out in New York Excelsior. I mean, 2 minutes left on this clock. There's still time to work with here for Boston Uprising. There's the Dragon Blade, though, looking to get into the squishy targets, and sure enough, Dream Casper finally puts an end to Sabiobi.
Now, opened all that up is that I believe Neko took out Jonak on the other side of things, so that's a lot of healing, and more importantly, the damage boost from the Discord then out of the equation makes everything a little easier for his team to go in and have the confidence that they're not going to get melted down immediately.
So still trying to get through that U-shape, that U-bend. It's looking like they're finally starting to make a little bit of progress here.
See, this is good because when it gets around to this point, you can go underneath to start attacking as well. Where going underneath, you're on the back end of the other team, so you might see different angles from Striker now that it's been opened up.
I'm curious, he's got that high ground. Looking to see if he can't find a squishy target, perhaps to get that pulse bomb onto. He's inching closer. There may be a chance here for him.
He's got the Zen in his sights right there. They dive him, Zen gets out somehow momentarily, then will fall.
Yeah, that's not for long. There is no joy here. Only, oh, the sick save from Libero. Thought for a second there Striker was going to reign supreme, but they were having none of it. And Kalio's trying to, well, I mean, he's just trying to create some space, but he gets D-mexed so quickly. Shouldn't be around for long, and sure enough, Sabiobi will be there to pistol whip him to death.
This is something that we've seen a lot from Korean rosters, is that you think they're in a tough spot, but they're just biding their time. They're just being patient. Kelix had come in with his own Valkyrie, but just after that Valkyrie started coming off, that's when Arc popped his. Then they eventually have the numbers. They will just wear you down. Their timing is impeccable.
So you still have Meko to buy more time with the self-destruct. You can even just use that zoning. You're going to push through. You've got 30 seconds. You don't have time to sit around and wait for that thing to go off. And so Dream Casper kind of darting around. He has his Dragon Blade, so we'll see. He's been very good so far at picking up kills when he uses his ultimate. Gonna have to see if he can continue to deliver here.
Well, the Dragon Blade's gonna have to get through two babysitters, which is Sabiobi and Libero. They're gonna be in the backline trying to deal with it. No flashbang comes out. He takes care of Sabiobi.
There we go, doing the damage, getting into the backline. Striker's there to drop Libero as well, and so the pressure is on. Kelix, he's been taken out though, so there isn't that much healing here to keep the sustain going for Boston Uprising. They need to be flawless in their execution at this point. They need to get the kills and stay on the cart, waiting for Kelix to just hoof it back. Exactly, he's already swapped over to Lucio to try and ferry him back even quicker.
There's been some great stall though, mostly in the form of Mano, who's been on the point, and now the last remnants of a push from Boston will all be cleaned up. It does not appear they're going to get third point in Junkertown somewhere.
Not fast enough, not fast enough. Great turnaround coming in here from the New York Excelsior. Boston not looking too pleased about that result. I mean, when you feel like you've got that much time going into point 3, you know, they didn't quite get it far enough.
It is kind of how Junkertown feels like it plays out, though. That last bend is absolutely brutal. There's no real flanks to go deal with. You can try to go upstairs, but it's a tiny hallway, and there's always a Widow up there. They always see you going there. It's not a very sneaky path, so you kind of just have to brute force it there towards the end. Able to get a couple kills on the dive and around the corner, and then you really want to take advantage of that flank underneath the stairs, but even that one is not great. You're under the stairs. They know you're there, too.
It's just about pulling them apart. You have to try and figure out a way to get those multiple flanks and take advantage of them to try and get that defense to start spreading out. But every time, New York Excelsior were so good about just keeping a couple bodies on the point, right? You still have to keep the point in mind, but then just funneling in one after another. You never really did get that big wipe.
Yeah, I thought going maybe a little tank heavier, maybe even more sustain heavier, something along those lines would have been good for them. They went dive, but you're diving into a McCree. And why McCree is good against dive is your flankers are Tracer and Genji. And they just get halted in the face with a flashbang. Tracer, of course, can't blink out of it. She gets one shot, she's squishy. Yep. And then even if you're avoiding the flashbang, there's a Junkrat back there. And Junkrat doesn't even have to aim at you to kill you. You're caught in traps, you're getting hit by mines, and sometimes just an errant grenade will take out a Tracer.
So let's see how things shape up here. Second half about to start. We've flipped sides. Excelsior are now on offense. And sure enough, there it is. We've got Boston Uprising on the defense. Kalios is going to be the one going for the fishing.
This is a composition we've seen really come into vogue today, not only on Junkertown, but on several different maps. The Orisa Roadhog works so well together. You use the halt, it pulls them into a ball, and you can get the hook. Yep. If that hook is off of cooldown, you can still set that up for a very easy headshot for your sniper. That's why you see it also run with Widowmakers and McCrees.
So, well, it does look like we will have the Bastion in play here for New York Excelsior. They're going to try and hop onto that card as quickly as possible. Need to get that shield plunks down as well, and they do in fairly quick order. And so now that aggressive hold that Boston Uprising had in mind, trying to take the fight to them early at least, they have to give it up. They have to give up the ground and back off.
Now, when the XL were on defense, what they did is rotate all the way around and try to come up top. It does not seem that same strategy is going to be employed by the Boston Uprising. Sabiobi does get a headshot in there, playing a little bit with fire. I think that he thinks this other sniper's over there, checking his corners.
You hear that dink go off, and you're just like, okay, hold your breath. Who got pinked? And well, I mean, Roadhog is going to be able to take a breather and get that health right back.
The Widow duel in full effect. They both know where each other are, so Sabiobi decides to just take a different path around it. So I think he might go for a grapple shot over the top. We'll see. Still action going on the card though.
Yeah, slow farm, nice hook there, but he gets caught, unfortunately, not able to take advantage, and well, that's a bit of a risky move to try and charge through. You're not invulnerable, Mecco. You can heal yourself. You're a big soak, but it's not going to happen this time. They are keeping a great presence on the point, however, and Boston Uprising not really able to get out there and challenge. There's that halt hook combo that you were talking about, and we've already lost Kellex for Boston Uprising. That's a big deal.
Halt hook, goodbye, and it's the most important target too. They took the Mercy out of that fight. No chance for Kellex to earn his way up to a Valkyrie. An interesting transcendence there, maybe trying to buy a little bit of time. Perhaps an ultimate they would have liked to have for the next fight. It might be switching.
It almost looked like he was trying to get out, right? But Mecco was just, no. You come back over here. You're not getting out in one piece.
Sometimes the best way out is through spawn. Just respawn.
Just accept your fate. And challenge just a little bit longer. Buy a little bit more time for your team. I mean, they're doing great on time right now, Excelsior. 4 minutes 30 left on this clock. And now they've got even high ground.
This is a great position for the offense to be in. This is generally where the defense wants to set up, and the jump in from Winston's going to be answered very quickly by all the damage here, and just gets scatter arrow.
Unbelievable. The self-repair for Jonak just keeping him alive indefinitely almost. That's unreal. Sabiobi is just picking up, wreaking havoc in the meantime, and you're trying to focus on Jonak. You're trying to drop this guy, but in the meantime, you have the sniper just going to work.
The Boston Uprising has made Kellex's job very, very difficult. They're dying in very strange spots. You cannot go in and try to fly into a Winston when there's a Bastion camping the body right there. They had just used Valkyrie actually in that fight, the Boston Uprising, and you would have no idea that they did so.
Style points for Dreamcasper. Okay, you got a gold star. That was slick.
Sabiobi might want to switch off of this Widow anyway. He's going to do just that. Widow's not ideal for offense on this last point. You're going to give up high ground to an opposing Widow if there happens to be one. I think it's the right choice to go to a McCree.
So, we'll see if this is going to prove effective. Mecco, watching him, he's going to be the closest one to getting an ultimate here for New York Excelsior, and so we'll see when he decides, rather, to use it. They continue to press forward. I mean, they are making very good progress so far in New York Excel.
their only goal right now is to inch this forward as much as possible. They really don't have a whole lot of ultimates to work with, so if they can bait out some ultimates in a fight, that's fine. But right now, they're just taking all the free push. No one's really even contesting the cart.
Yeah, they need to get in here at some point, Boston Uprising, and not to just die either. That's not part of it. You need to stay alive. Meko just wrecks Dreamcasper immediately using the whole hog. And well, he's hungry for more. Of course, he's got his hook. If he can get the... Oh, this would be sick if he could land that on Libero or on Neko right around the corner. And there it is, the Halt combo again. But he doesn't get the target he was looking for. Still handy dandy to get the D-Mech, but you want that healer.
Yeah, taking the D.Va out of there is actually a really big deal because now Xaviobi's going to have all the targets in the world. There's no defense matrix. This Transcendence comes out aggressively just to try to push them back. They're throwing everything they have at this.
And Dreamcasper, he doesn't get anything out of his Dragon Blade. Meko is there to find the pick, and you have Xaviobi in the background, just happy as a clam. I mean, look at this. Gets to go for the Deadeye to just zone them out as well. Another D-Mech. This is just everything going well for New York Excelsior.
It's not even been close. They are right on the cusp of finishing this, and the dive defense's biggest vulnerability is how many resurrections have you even seen from the defensive Mercy? And you're running Mercy here, you want to bring people back to life, they're dying in places where it's impossible.